All right, fire up the ovens. We're diving deep into the world of pizza, but not just any pizza. We're talking about the masters, the Pizzaioli.
The chefs who can take simple ingredients, flour, water, and turn them into a culinary masterpiece.
Now, I've always been curious, what does it really take to be a Pizzaiolo these days?
Well, it's funny you should ask because we've got this career guide,
Mm,
Pizzaiolo, and it's got some really interesting insights. And then there's this platform, RoleCatcher.
RoleCatcher.
Yeah, it seems like they've got a ton of info on all sorts of careers, but especially for aspiring Pizzioli.
Okay, well, let's toss some of these insights around, shall we? What's the guide say about, like, the day-to-day? What does a Pizzaiolo actually do?
Well, it's not just about tossing dough.
Right, gotta be more to it.
They're responsible for the whole process, from prepping that dough, like we were talking about, to, well, managing the oven.
Ah, the oven, the heart of the operation.
Exactly. You've got to understand how to control the heat, how to get that perfect crust.
Makes sense. You need that crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside.
That's the magic, right? And then, of course, there are the toppings.
Ah, the toppings, where things get really creative.
And this is where it gets really interesting because the guide talks about this rise in gourmet and specialty pizzas.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that, like artisanal ingredients, fancy cheeses, all that.
Exactly. People are looking for those unique flavor combinations these days.
So it's not just your classic pepperoni anymore.
Not at all. We're talking exotic mushrooms, truffle oil, you name it.
Wow, sounds like the pizza game has really leveled up.
It really has, and the guide emphasizes that Pizzioli need to be adaptable.
Adaptable, how so?
Well, think about it. You've got different crusts, different doughs, different toppings, and then you've got different ovens.
Oh, right, you've got your wood-fired, your gas-fired, your electric oven.
Each one cooks differently, so a Pizziolo needs to be a master of their craft.
A jack of all trades. Or should I say a jack of all pizzas.
And this is where RoleCatcher comes in, because they actually break down the different career paths you can take as a Pizziolo.
Oh, interesting. So you're saying there's like a career ladder in the pizza world.
Yeah, you could start as, say, a junior Pizziolo, learning the ropes, mastering the basics.
Working your way up from dough stretcher to sauce slinger.
Exactly. And then as you gain experience, you could specialize in a certain style of pizza.
Like become the calzone king or the deep dish diva.
Something like that. Or you could even move into a more managerial role, overseeing a whole team of Pizzioli.
Wow. So you could go from tossing dough to calling the shots.
Exactly. It's a surprisingly diverse field, and that's something that both the Career Guide and RoleCatcher really emphasize.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So we've talked about the skills and the career paths, but let's get real for a moment. What's the work environment really like for a Pizzaiolo?
It's definitely fast-paced.
Yeah, I bet, especially during those dinner rushes.
Exactly. You're working in a hot kitchen under pressure, so you need to be able to handle the heat, literally.
So it's not for the faint of heart.
That's right, but it's also incredibly rewarding.
Oh, I bet. Seeing people enjoy something you created.
Exactly. There's a certain satisfaction that comes with crafting a delicious pizza and seeing those happy faces.
And I imagine there's a real sense of camaraderie in the kitchen too, right? Like a team effort,
Oh, absolutely. You're working closely with others, so good communication is key.
right? Got to be on the same page when those orders start flying in.
Exactly. And that's something that both the Career Guide and RoleCatcher highlight, the importance of teamwork.
Makes sense. It's not a solo gig.
Not at all. And speaking of RoleCatcher, they've got these really interesting example profiles. Like they highlight one senior Pizzaiolo, been doing it for years, known for using all local organic ingredients.
Wow, so really taking it to the next level.
Right. She's not just making pizza, she's crafting an experience.
That's really cool. But it makes me wonder, with all this talk about gourmet toppings and career paths, is there still room for the traditional Pizzaiolo? The one who's been doing it the same way for years.
That's a great question, and it kind of ties into this whole trend of technology in the kitchen.
Technology and pizza. Now that's an interesting combo.
Right. But RoleCatcher talks about how automated ovens and online ordering systems, even inventory management software, it's becoming more common in pizzerias.
Huh. So I guess even pizza making is getting a tech upgrade.
It is, and it makes sense, right? Streamlining things, improving efficiency.
Yeah, I can see that. No more lost orders or running out of pepperoni at the worst possible time.
Exactly, but, and this is key, it doesn't replace the human element.
Right. You still need someone who knows how to work the dough, how to get that perfect crust.
Exactly. The Career Guide actually emphasizes that soft skills are still crucial.
Soft skills. Like what?
Communication, teamwork, customer service, creating a good atmosphere.
Oh, right. So even with all the tech, being a Pizziolo is still about connecting with people.
Absolutely. It's about sharing your passion for good food.
I like that. It's like a blend of tradition and innovation.
Exactly. And speaking of innovation, we've got to talk about how RoleCatcher goes beyond just giving you info.
Oh, they actually help you land a job.
Yeah, they have this AI-powered interview prep with over 120,000 interview questions.
Wow, 120,000. That's a lot of questions.
Right, and they're tailored to specific professions, including Pizzaiolo.
So you're not just getting generic advice, you're getting prepped for the real deal.
Exactly, and get this, they even have video practice sessions where you can record yourself answering questions and their AI gives you feedback.
Wow, that's like having your own personal coach.
It really is, and they don't stop there. They even help with your resume.
Oh, how so?
They analyze job descriptions, figure out what employers are looking for, and then they compare that to your resume.
So it's like they're giving you a cheat sheet for the whole job application process.
In a way, yeah, they highlight any gaps or areas you could improve.
That's amazing. It's like they've thought of everything.
They really have, but, even with all the tools in the world, you still need that passion.
Right, the love of pizza.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to make you stand out.
So for all our listeners out there who are now dreaming of opening their own pizzerias,
Or just perfecting their grandma's secret dough recipe.
what advice would you give them? What makes a pizziolo truly great?
The career guide actually had a really good point about this. They said it's about finding your niche.
Niche, like a specialty pizza.
Exactly. Like maybe you become the gluten-free guru.
Making those celiac-friendly crusts that actually taste good.
Right. Or you master the art of the deep dish, with that perfectly caramelized cheese crust.
Oh, man, now you're making me hungry.
Or maybe you get creative, invent your own signature pizza.
Oh, I like that. Put your own spin on it.
Exactly, because it's that passion and creativity that really shines through.
It's like you said earlier, it's about crafting an experience, not just a pizza.
Exactly, and it goes back to that question we were asking about technology.
Oh, right. Is it changing the game?
I think in the case of pizza, it's more about giving pizzaioli new tools, new possibilities.
Yeah, it's not about replacing tradition. It's about building on it.
Exactly, and who knows what amazing pizza creations the future holds.
Well, I'm excited to find out. So to all our listeners out there, if you're feeling inspired, remember what we learned today.
It's about passion, dedication, and maybe a little help from technology.
And hey, if you're serious about pursuing a career as a pizziolo, definitely check out RoleCatcher.
They seem to have everything you need to get started.
All right, that's a wrap on this cheesy episode.
Until next time, may your crust be crispy and your toppings be tasty.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a sudden craving for pizza.
Me too.